Hello, I am Aaron, and welcome back to another video. Today, I'm going to talk about a pet peeve I have, particularly with WWE. Before we get started, be sure to subscribe for more wrestling-related content. Now, probably my biggest pet peeve with WWE specifically is the big man complex, where people get opportunities and people get a contract in the first place purely based on their size, or 90% based on their size most of the time. Most of the smaller guys can wrestle circles around the big guys. Most of the smaller guys are just overall better wrestlers and put on better matches. Not even just fancy moves, just technical ability. They still put on better matches just in general. Whereas the big guys are almost all the same. There are exceptions, for example, like Keith Lee, and there are others. But for the most part, they all have pretty much the same moveset. They almost all do a slam of some form. They almost all do a big boot. They almost all do some form of splash, I guess. It's not always a splash, sometimes it's literally just sitting on them, but some way to splash their body weight onto the person and crush them. So it makes it hard to watch when you know all of the moves already. They're just slow and often clumsy. Not to bash anyone, I understand they can't change their size, so they shouldn't be punished for that, but they shouldn't necessarily get a contract and title matches and titles and all of this because of their size. There are so many people who shouldn't even be wrestling, to be honest, but get contracts and get titles and get all this stuff because they're 7 feet tall or 300 pounds, and I don't think it's right. When there's people like Cesaro and Shinsuke and so many others that are so good, but because they're not huge, they don't get opportunities. They don't really get titles. They don't get any of that stuff that they have more than earned, but they just don't fit the image, so they don't get the titles and opportunities that the bigger guys get. And yes, the smaller guys have their flaws too, and sometimes the big man can be good, but generally speaking, there's an inequality there. Because a guy is small, he tends to not get opportunities because he's too small. Because he's big, he gets all these opportunities because he's big. And even if he can't necessarily wrestle very well, he still gets opportunities, and it just irks me so badly. Johnny Gargano, for example, he has actually said that he was told at his tryout that he is good enough, but if he's just a little bit bigger, he would have a contract in a heartbeat, but he just wasn't fitting the image, so he didn't get a contract at that time. Of course, things work out for him in the end, but someone as talented as Johnny Gargano doesn't even get a contract simply because he's small. That was the entire reason, was because he was small. So I just feel it's not right, and that should not be a thing. So if you're still with me after that rant, I would like to thank you, and if you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this topic, and do you think big men get matches and opportunities because of their size? Or maybe I'm wrong. Until next time, see you later.